Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Soul Goals Podcast. I'm Dawn, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. This podcast is dedicated to bringing people's stories to light and hearing their journeys of inspiration and self-growth. But it's also about connection and knowing that you are not alone. Each week, I get the chance to sit down and talk with an amazing soul, someone I've had the blessing of either meeting or following in my life. I am so grateful for my guests. Their openness and their vulnerability, it is unmatched as we share heartfelt conversations together about both their challenges and their triumphs. I hope that you can grab some inspiration and connection from my guests and their stories. I know I certainly have with each conversation. What an honor to sit with these brave souls. Everyone has a story, folks. And every story matters. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Soul Goals. I am Dawn, and today I have the pleasure of speaking to one of the most amazing beach volleyball coaches that I know this side of the Mississippi. Yeah. Are you on this? You're this side of the Mississippi. You're in Chicago right now, right?
I am. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Everybody, please welcome to the show, Vince Miranda. Yes. Woo, 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 woo. And before I let you start talking, because I'm just going to keep reiterating all this stuff, let me give a little bit of Vince's background, right? Vince started out playing indoor volleyball in college, ended up, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in our conversation, but he ended up leaving indoor in, gosh, I don't know what year it was, but you had an injury that you sustained and it kind of went a different direction for you. Interestingly, he fell in love with beach volleyball, did a lot of stuff like playing himself as a semi-pro as well, and then ended up going and starting his own club. Yeah, taking all of that great knowledge that he had from indoor as well as beach when he was competing, and is now imparting that on the lives of many, many young girls that are excelling and doing really well. A handful of girls from his club have signed, Division One deals, going on to play collegiate ball in really very astute programs. So it's very exciting. So I can't wait to hear all about your journey and how you got to where you are now. So Vince, tell us, you're in Chicago. How cold is it there today?
37 degrees.
Yuck. Yuck. 37.
Yeah.
You're not originally, wait, you are originally from there, are you?
Yeah. Born and raised.
Okay. So when did you leave there? Because since I've known you, you've been in Arkansas. You've been in the South since I knew you.
Yes.
When did you leave the Chicago area?
I left Chicago for the first time in 2000. Well, like my adult life, 2018, the summer of 2018, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
You moved to Little Rock. Is that right?
Florida.
Oh, wait. Oh, it's right. Yeah. So Vince was you were one of the big deals. I'm going to say a big deal because you were with Stetson Beach Volleyball Program out of DeLand, Florida. And that was a year that they had such huge success in the ASUN in their championship. Yeah.
Yes, we had, it was a phenomenal team and forever will go down in obviously my history books because I would have never ever thought that, like, I don't know, my first year going into a program like that. It was amazing. But it was summer of 2018. I pack up all my things. I sell my house.
Oh, gosh.
I moved to DeLand, Florida.
So, of all places. So, like, did you know? I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So you're playing indoor volleyball.
Yeah.
You go to college, sustain an injury.
Yeah.
Tell me how you found beach volleyball, and then we'll skip back to the Stetson story because that's intriguing to me too.
Yeah. So played in college, did sustain that injury, was too stubborn to get a surgery for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took a hiatus. I thought maybe time off from the game would, heal the wounded, kind of speak, and definitely didn't. It did not.
Wasn't the case.
It definitely was not the case because it was, I believe it was like I don't know. It was like a Thanksgiving or something like that, and someone handed me a bowl of mashed potatoes, and I struck my right arm out to like grab it from the
Okay.
bottom, and I slowly had to put it down because I couldn't even lift it.
Oh,
It
wow. From
was
your
yeah, it
shoulder?
was yes, it was wild. Like I could
Wow.
not even lift this thing, and so it was. I knew then that I had to get a surgery. Like there was
Yeah.
no doubt about it. And so I went in, I got my MRIs done, yada yada, and
Mhm.
it the complete labrum tear. Nothing too
Mm.
gnarly. It's just like wear and tear of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
And so complete labrum tear, which explained why it hurt every time I went to hit a ball.
Right.
I
The
mean,
swing, the lift, everything. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I got that, and
Mhm.
I came back to the indoor game naturally. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I couldn't put a ball down as hard as before with the
Okay.
velocity and speed. So I was like, what's this outdoor game about? Like,
Okay.
like
Okay.
I don't. It seems to be like I don't need as much power
Yeah, it's
as I
different.
do. Yes, yes. So that's kind of what led me in
Okay.
to the beach game, like kind of by default, but
Okay.
also uh, it was very I'm very happy that it happened.
Yeah, yeah. Was a natural evolution from where you were, it sounds like to me.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I had aspirations about like going overseas and playing indoor and having it to be my life,
Mhm.
because the times prior, uh, as an indoor player, I'd try to go out to the sand and play some tournament. No, it was awful. It was awful.
Okay, so times prior, meaning when you were still
It's
playing
still,
indoor?
yeah, it
Oh
was
gosh.
so bad.
Well, okay, so tell me your personal philosophy on indoor versus beach and the crossover of the two, because I know like one of my daughters is like, it's so different for her. The passing seems different for her, the attacking seems different for her. But and she has a hard time switching between the two.
Yeah,
Did you I mean, the game is so different when you were in college from indoor to beach. Do you think
no.
that's still the same, or do you think it's kind of become a little bit more similar?
Um, I think the speed game, or the game of the speed,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, the speed of the game,
yeah,
has definitely gotten similar.
yeah.
However, there's one thing that you can't account for is the dexterity in the sand.
Yes. Yeah.
So being able to move in it and all of that, like that, it,
It's a crusher.
yes, I mean it's if you have a powerhouse player in indoor, it could be definitely the great equalizer of the two,
Mm, yeah,
and um, so, but on the other hand, if you have your sand legs, I mean, you're doing things like no one's tempting
yeah,
on the outdoor side, or now that is becoming more sought after,
right.
like the jump setting and the powerful on twos and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. So
Yeah, and I just think that the athleticism that it takes for you, it's two on two that when you're in
yes,
beach volleyball. And I think it's hard for a lot of people to understand that. Like if you're watching like the national championship that was just recently on, and you got 6 on 6, everybody has their specific job, but it's so crazy and so cool at the same time to see two players having to do all of the skills.
yes, absolutely. And what's really funny to me? So like, we all have friends outside of our volleyball bubble, right?
Right?
And they're like, "Oh yeah, we watch it on the Olympics and we catch it on, NBC Sports,
Uh-huh.
whatever." And they're
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh my gosh, that's so hard." And I was like, "It is, but also if like to me in my head, like if you just train it,
Yeah.
it gets
Yeah.
less difficult, and the less difficult the more you do it, right? So it's like
Yes.
so I always say to them, or players that are going into the sand, I always say, it's because you haven't been taught yet.
Right.
You get taught, and then a lot of rhyme comes with the reason and
Mhm.
everything like that. So, but it's really funny. It's just like, oh man, you must be in really good shape because you get to run in the sand all the time. I'm like, I mean, yes and no.
Like, I get
yeah,
it. Yeah, I get where they're coming from when they say that. I'm
yeah,
like, that's a compliment, I
it
guess,
is. Yes,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Gosh, because it takes, excuse my language, it takes a badass to play some beach volleyball.
It
I've
does.
seen some intense
Yes,
matches.
absolutely.
And I mean,
Yes.
just like you're on the edge of your seat, just like, and there's just two people.
Yeah.
I think that's what I love about it. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
love it.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially what the women are doing on, at the national level,
Yeah.
or international, excuse me, at the international level. It's
Mhm.
just, it's wild. It's so
Yeah.
cool to watch.
It's very cool. So then
Yeah.
what happens with you is you are dabbling in the beach volleyball. You're
Yeah.
deciding that that's something that you really think is kind of the direction you want to go in, and pack up your stuff, sell your house, and move to DeLand, Florida. You had an opportunity. Where did you hear about the coaching position at Stetson?
Yeah. So I'm out in California for BVCAs,
Mhm.
or excuse me, AAUs and BVCAs. Um, had a pretty had a pretty decent showing at the BVCAs that year with teams participating.
Okay.
Um,
You were coaching at that time?
yeah, I had Prime in
Oh,
Chicago as
oh,
well.
you did have it. Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes.
let me back up just one other step before you go forward.
Yeah.
Vince owns Prime, which is, can you tell me what the acronym PRIME? Every letter means something, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Perfection repeated is mastering excellence. Prime.
Perfection repeated is mastering excellence. I
Yes.
love that.
It took me
I
a
love
while to figure it out.
So we just call it Prime, but
That's right.
everybody that works with you knows that that's the underlying, that's the foundation that you built your club on,
That
basically.
is the culture that we built the club on. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so going back, sorry, I just want to give
No.
you
Yeah.
that little sidebar. So you had a
Yeah.
great showing in California?
Yes. I mean, had a couple of 16s teams, had one 18s team, and had one I think at the time they were 12U.
Okay.
um, which is so gnarly because both of those players that were playing 12U, one plays indoor at Miami University of Miami, or no, Miami University in Ohio,
Okay.
and then the other one is playing beach at UTEP.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's
yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
those 12-year-olds, so sweet, so
I
little.
know, yeah.
Gosh.
So and then I recently saw one on the beach the other. Oh gosh, it was a tournament out in Gulf Shores, and I'm like, no way! Like I'm like,
Oh.
yeah, I was so happy.
Well, talk about a
Um,
full circle moment for you as a coach.
Big time. Yes, big time. It
Yeah.
was yeah. Um, but we can get into that. But yeah,
Okay.
no, um,
Sorry.
no, yeah.
It's intriguing and I love it. I love it. I love it. So the Stetson job presents itself in what capacity for you?
Yeah, so I get a heads up from my one of my friends down in Del Rey,
Okay.
Florida. His name is Jay,
Uh-huh.
and he runs Sandstorm.
Yeah.
And now I want to dive into our relationship, but I won't. That's a long story. But a
Okay.
long story short, we've been friends for a long time at this point.
Yes. Okay. Great. Great.
But back then, we had a 3-year relationship going on 3 years,
Mhm.
and he always knew that my aspirations were to go into Division I beach volleyball because
Yeah.
I figured I had the knowledge set to be able to do so.
Yeah.
And he told me that Stetson was maybe looking. I should reach out,
Oh.
and he asked if I knew the head coach, and I said yes. I have worked with her previously at USA
Mhm.
when they were in the region as uh, what was it at that time? I can't remember.
Oh,
High
it was
performance.
high performance. Yes.
Yes,
USA volleyball high performance program. Yep.
yes.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "All right, well, why don't you give her a shout?"
Mhm.
Later that night, I go back to my dad's house in Anaheim because the BBCA's in AAU or Huntington Beach,
Okay.
not Huntington Beach, Hermosa, excuse me, Hermosa
Okay.
Beach. And I'm sitting at the computer and I'm like, do I do this or not? Like, I'm afraid of the rejection, kind of like that Marty McFly, like,
Right.
but I'm afraid of the rejection. Well, yeah. So I was
You
like,
never know though.
yeah, that's right.
You
You
just
just
don't
never
know.
know. Exactly. So I reached out and I was like, "Hey, I heard you're looking for a coach." And
So you
then
just like cold called.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't even a call. I was so cowardly. I texted her. Like it was so bad. I'm like, "Hey, Christina, remember me? Like we
Yeah.
coached together at USA."
Okay. Okay.
And
Well, she must have.
yeah, no,
Okay.
100%. Well, coincidentally, she was recruiting one of mine one of my players at the time.
Oh, great.
So
Yeah. There was a connection that had
yes,
started.
already.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And
Yeah.
then she's like, "Yes, I am, and but if you're interested, go ahead and, you know, put your name in the hat." Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
essentially. So I put my name in the hat.
Yeah.
Uh, BBCA's got over, that week or whatever. I'm like,
Mm.
dang, like, didn't get it. Like, it's been a week already, whatever.
Oh gosh.
And yeah, like I was kind of bummed, I mean, you
Okay.
put yourself out there,
Yeah. But
you
did
get
you
bummed.
know for sure? You hadn't been told. It wasn't.
No, 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 I have not been told yes or no.
Okay.
And um, I go home for like a day or so, and then I'm heading back out to Atlantic City for the Volley America
Yes.
Championships.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and so I was, I'm actually recuperating from a car accident that happened on the 405.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it was
While you were in the middle of all that?
yeah. So on my way home to my dad's house in my rental car, I get rear-ended so bad the trunk ends up in the back seat.
What?
Yes.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Vince.
Yes.
Okay.
So at the time I didn't feel anything, right?
Okay.
You got the adrenaline, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Nothing is set in yet. I go to the rental car place and they're like, well, you didn't hit anybody in the front of you. I was like, no, I left space. Like, I'm not an
Yeah.
idiot.
Yeah.
But your trunk is in your back seat. And
Yeah.
so they were like, I paid they were so nice. And I kept on going back and back. Like I was a repeat customer anytime that I was out in the West Coast.
Yeah.
So luckily for my loyal customer experiences, like I kept on going back, they didn't charge me even my deductible.
Oh,
They
wow.
said your insurance, we're positive your insurance will take care of it all.
Okay. Great.
Moving forward, I'm at home. I'm nursing my back because that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was hard to breathe. Like
Ugh.
it was like I got messed up. Like
Yeah. It's
I
a
didn't
big
even
impact.
know.
When
Yeah.
somebody sends your trunk into the back seat, that's a big impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the airbag never went off. I was so surprised.
Oh, wow.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky because you know what?
Yeah.
If that airbag would have went off, like we would have been
Yeah.
over.
It would have
Yeah.
folded you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyways, 2 days at home, out to Atlantic City. It was it. Like
Oh, you
I
didn't have
landed.
much time.
Yeah, no, I landed in Atlantic City. I'm sore. I'm hurting. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? It's so nice out right now. I'm gonna walk the boardwalk. I
Okay.
walk the boardwalk. I get my pizza. I get a call, and it's like it was Christina. She's like, well, why don't you I want to offer you the position. Why don't you take your time?
Oh,
Think about it. I was gonna say yes right now. Like,
right. I was
yes,
just
I'm
gonna say,
in. Like,
you don't have to have time. You don't
I'm
have time.
done. Yeah, nah, no time.
Where do I
Zero.
sign?
Yeah. Um, but she's like, no, take your time. Give you about a day or so, and uh, you know, I know you're out at Atlantic City or
Mhm.
going to be out at Atlantic City, and just think about it.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, I'll think
Yeah,
about it.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. So naturally I said yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it took me a while to get my things together because I had to get my house in the market.
How
I had
soon did you have to be there?
so Atlantic City was at the end of July.
July. Yeah. They wanted
Okay.
you there for the school year, didn't they?
Oh yes, they did.
Yeah, which is August.
Yeah, she was very nice. She said, I'll give you to the end of August,
I'll give you an extra week.
basically.
Okay.
Which is
Okay,
honestly,
great.
like, I'm
Great.
surprised it wasn't 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
God.
well, if she had it her way, she would have definitely said, "Hey, I want you here now." Like,
Now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But she was very gracious enough to give me till that like the whole month.
Yeah.
And I had I had bought a little extra time. I was like, "Hey, how about I come in over Labor Day weekend?"
Yeah, yeah.
And and she's like, "Okay." I was like, "Yes,
Perfect.
yes,
Perfect. So now
perfect."
you got some space.
I got some space.
Good,
Yes.
good.
So I pack up all my things. Like it was terrible. I had a friend living with me
Oh, wow.
from Florida. Um,
Ugh.
but it was cool because like he was hardly paying any rent.
Uh-huh.
And like we were helping each other out
Okay.
basically, you know, and my mortgage wasn't even that much, like that's a whole nother story, but
Yeah.
we were
So it
helping
was
each other
the
out.
transition wasn't crazy for you. It just was really fast.
It was just super fast.
Yeah.
So I got down there. I'm driving. So I call Christina. I'm like, I really want to get down there tonight. I don't know how this is going to go. I'm stuck. Oh, wait, back up. I call a friend in Tennessee and
Uh-huh.
I was like, hey, like, can I crash at your place on my way down to Stetson? They're
Yeah.
like, why are you going to Stetson? I'm like, bro, I got the job. And he's like, oh, no way.
Good
Yeah, you can totally
timing.
stay.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I stay at his house
Uh-huh.
and I punch into Google Maps. I'm like, Stetson University, Florida. So it takes me, and I mean, I don't know, like I'm just following Google Maps. It led me through the mountains.
Oh.
Halfway through the mountains, I lose service.
Oh
I
no.
don't know where I'm going.
Oh.
I'm like, you know what? Here's a shot. I'm going to take it. It's either I get killed in these mountains or I make it through. It was just that was it, you know? So like I'm zooming in on like the Google Maps. I'm like, if I go here and I take a left there, and then I'm scrolling even more, zooming in.
Yeah.
I was like, I can make it out. Like I'm like so destined, right?
Yes. Yes.
Luckily, I do make it out. I found the highway, and it spits me out somewhere in a Carolina, somewhere. I don't
Okay.
know. Like I was like,
That's really the long way around.
yes, and I was like, and now mind you, okay, I was about from his house. If I came in the way or if I went out the way I came in, I was
Yeah.
like 20 minutes away from the highway. But it
You're doing
said to
it
go through
completely
the
different.
mountains, like I'm talking like through the mountains where like I saw a deer on the side of a creek drinking the water. Okay, that's how mountainous this was. Like
Yes. I
so
love it.
gnarly.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So
You just had a little bit of it. You just took a detour.
yeah,
All
I mean
right.
it was an adventure, no doubt. Like, and I embraced it. It was amazing.
Yes. Yes.
So obviously I took my time through there.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
and then I'm in South Carolina and my next call is like boop, boop, boop. RJ, what are you doing?
South
He's like,
Carolina beach volleyball
yes,
team. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, RJ, what's up? What are you doing? He's like, oh, just at work,
Yeah.
getting ready for season. I was like, hey, I'm like 45 minutes out. He's like, dude, stop on by. So
Oh,
yes, so I
so
stopped
good.
by Columbia, and they walk me through, give me a
Mhm.
little tour, whatever. And they're like, so you're on your way? And I was like, yeah, I'm so stoked. I got my car packed up already.
Yeah.
But what was so crazy is that like, I'm cruising with my air conditioning on like the whole way down there. And I get out, I step outside in South Carolina in September. Now it's the 4th,
Yeah.
and it's blistering hot. Like I'm
Yeah.
just like I can't breathe, the humidity, like I'm not used to it
Humidity is a big
yet.
deal. Yes.
Like it killed me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yes. So you're getting
Um,
ready to go to DeLand, Florida, where that's gonna happen to you.
Even worse,
Yes,
right?
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
This is God's way of preparing you for that.
Oh, it was so yes. Um, and so that was awesome. And I'm on my
Mhm,
way through Georgia, Atlanta.
mhm, mhm.
And I get stuck in traffic, and I call Christina. I was like, hey, like I really thought I was gonna be there earlier, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I was like, happy birthday to me, right? She's like, in my time of coaching, I have to say, I was constantly traveling on my birthday. She's like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
welcome to coaching. I was like,
Yeah,
I
right.
feel welcomed.
Yeah, you're like, "What? It doesn't matter what the day is."
Nope, it doesn't.
I don't you
She's
know what? I don't think people realize that. If you think about, like, there's a lot of big events that happen around
yeah,
major holidays, whether it's
big
volleyball,
time.
whether it's football, whether it's
Yeah,
baseball. Think about what that coach and that coaching staff put into that event prior to, during, and after. I mean, they're taken away from their families a lot. Like, there's a lot of sacrifice.
yes. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, even look at the bowl games that just happened,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mhm.
even the players,
Yeah.
the fans. Fans are obviously wanting to be there, but like the
Yeah.
coaches, the
But
coaching staff,
it's a sacrifice, and yeah, I think
absolutely.
that also speaks to the fact that, I mean, you talked about it just now, and you're, like, glowing about it. You're, like, excited to be a part of that. So that tells me, man, like, that's a foundational piece of you. Coaching is that's a passion that you have. That's like, it's a no-brainer.
Yes. Yeah. I have, I think I have solidified my, myself and my, being to the game,
Yeah.
but in any capacity, really. Like I even enjoy reffing, to be honest with you. Like
Okay.
I don't, I might be a really strict ref, but I still enjoy it,
Okay.
so it doesn't matter what aspect of the game it is. Just to be around it, I absolutely love it. So,
Yeah. Well, everything that you've talked about so far in our conversation has led into that passion. It's just, it's oozing out of you. So
well, yeah, sorry to go on and on about it, but
no,
yeah.
you're doing the right thing. And your
Okay.
story is always everybody's story is intriguing. Yeah. So you
Thank
ended
you.
up getting to Stetson to
Yes.
high humidity
Yes.
eventually.
Yes, it was. I got there on my birthday. Like I
Oh,
arrived. I made really good time through the north part of Florida. Like it really caught up, and um, I hit the water over Jacksonville. And I remember, I think it's still on my Snapchat story.
oh, really?
like, oh, here's water. Like,
Yes, I'm
yeah, I
there.
made
I've
it.
arrived. Yes,
Yep,
yes.
yeah. And I remember distinctly what I put on my radio, Pandora. I was listening to Florida Georgia Line. So
Oh, I love
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. It was, I was
Gosh.
like, this, it's appropriate. Like I had to.
But, yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you
So,
did.
yeah.
I've done that before when I've driven that direction as well.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Like whatever goes with the time, you just gotta,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So you arrive in DeLand,
Mhm.
the season, you're in preseason, and then you go into season. What are your, like, tell me about that first season as a Division I college beach volleyball coach.
Yeah. So, like on my way down there, I, there was one thing that I really wanted to put in my mind, and that
Okay.
was I know I have work to do on the administrative side because I have no clue what I'm doing.
Okay.
Um, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was getting into, honestly, looking back on it. I'm surprised that I'm surprised I didn't get fired.
Oh, wow.
She put up with a lot, and a lot that I know now,
Mhm.
but man, like it was rough going.
Yeah, well, there's a learning curve because everything that you have done up to this point has been involved in the actual technique of the game, and I mean,
Yes, yes.
I
And, even running my club, to be honest with
mhm,
you, like, a parent was helping me out. It's like,
yeah.
the parent, that her child is going to, Miami, Ohio,
Uh-huh.
her mom was
She was your
yeah,
admin.
yes, like,
Okay.
she helped me out
Well,
so much to
good.
the point where she was doing our newsletter every month.
Well, it takes a village, Vince.
No,
I
yes,
mean,
yes,
it does take a village.
and you know what? That's one thing that well, villages are amazing, with
Yes.
Prime, in
Yeah.
in general. But yeah, so like, I knew I had to learn it, and I knew I had to get my hat on straight
Yeah.
because Division 1 is no joke, and I didn't
Yeah.
know how no joke it is.
Yeah.
Um, I really didn't know how no joke it is, and
Yeah.
that's something that I was able to learn, through the rigor of a very very good Division 1 beach volleyball program.
That's great.
I count my lucky stars that I had that opportunity. To be honest with you,
Mhm.
count my lucky stars that Christina put up with
She
me.
held you there. Well,
No,
she
yeah,
obviously saw something in you and knew that you were a valuable asset to the program. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been asked to be a part of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still try to think that way.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean,
So
you just have to give yourself that grace and
yeah,
understand that that passion that is inside of you is real. I
yes.
mean, like, I think anybody that watches this or listens to it can hear it in your voice, can see it in your face. It's
Well,
just
I
it's
hope
great.
so. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a very big part of my life and
Yeah.
my
And
being.
yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you what too, even now when you have been out coaching on the sand and you're like 3 courts away, I can hear you when one of your teams is doing something amazing. You're like, "Let's go." And it's so big and it's so much a piece of celebration, and
Yes.
that's good. Like, let's celebrate that. And you're there with them. I think that's really invaluable. You're right. You're right there in the mix with them. You're
Yes.
not separate from it. So,
Sometimes it's almost as if I'm more invested. I know I'm not, but
yeah.
I'm close. Like
Yeah.
it's like them and then like me. You know what I mean? Like hey, I'm right
Well,
there. You know.
you're also dealing with teenage girls too.
Yeah.
So on any given day, that investment can be like up or down for them too.
You know, it's wild. You would think that, but I've been so lucky to have gotten the athletes that I've gotten because it hasn't really varied all that much.
Yeah.
In all fairness, and I don't know if it's just the culture that we've been able to build
Mhm.
or the rapport with the players where we have so much respect for one another.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I haven't had that experience yet. Even my time at the universities I was at, like
Mhm.
I still haven't, and I feel very blessed
Yeah.
to have had that. On the beach side, on the indoor side, yes, yep,
Yes. Yeah.
100%, no
Yeah.
doubt. But on the beach side, I haven't, and even from the young ones, and
Oh.
I
Well,
I
maybe
couldn't ask
like
for more,
attracts
you know.
like maybe like attracts like.
Yeah, that's
You
and
know?
I truly believe like it's a magnet type of
Mm.
situation. Yeah,
Mhm. Absolutely.
yeah.
So how was that first season for you as you're getting ready for the ASUN championships because your record was amazing, right?
Yes, yes.
How did the girls respond to you? How did you make that work as your first experience? Was that something that you had to work with different
Oh God.
personalities? Mm,
Um, no, actually, the team was really cool.
okay.
With the acceptance, um, they honestly they didn't even hesitate.
Okay.
No,
Good.
there was a little bit of awkwardness on my side
Mhm.
with connection, but just like you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I had to believe in myself that I should be there, you
Oh,
know.
that's great. Yeah.
So that took a little time,
Mhm.
and honestly, it didn't happen that season.
Mm.
Even more so, like anytime like I was running a drill or whatever, like I'd stumble over my words
Okay.
even more so than I do on a normal basis.
Yeah.
So I mean, like
Yeah.
it was like I don't know, the analogy would be like a baby giraffe trying to walk. It
Right.
was,
Right.
it was nerve wracking.
Yeah.
But off of the court, we established a rapport. Like I
Yeah.
would go eat with them, or they see me in the cafeteria, they come sit down with me, by me after they ate, or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So I try to build the rapport outside of the
Mhm.
court. So on the court, it wasn't as bad,
Right.
um, and that worked out. Like that was actually one of my main. That was one of my main things that I've tried to do to establish a little bit more of myself into their culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you become relatable. Like you
More
find
so than
your
anything,
purpose.
yes.
Yeah. And you're
Mhm.
approachable.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And then there's a trust that goes along with it. It just goes right down the line.
It
So
goes down the line, yes,
yeah.
you're absolutely right.
And I just want to go back because, and I'm sure I'm going to say this again later on in our conversation too, but I really love what you said about I just had to believe that I belonged there and that
Sure.
I was capable of doing that.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
think that's such a valuable piece of information for so many people, no matter what profession you're in, no matter what sport you're in, no matter if you're a student, if you're a wife, if you're a mom, if you're a dad, if you're whatever you are, you just have to
Yeah,
believe that you belong
absolutely.
there. Yeah.
Just yeah, and yeah, like you said, whatever you're doing, like,
Mhm.
you're there for a reason, just own up and do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Stetson, I know you went to FAU as a volunteer assistant coach.
Yes,
Okay.
so at the time, so after the national championships, um
Which that was a big deal, by the way.
oh my
That
gosh,
was a big deal.
I still revel in that feeling,
Yeah.
to be one of the top 8, like,
Yeah.
there's nothing like it, like,
Yes.
whew,
Yes.
um, and, just yeah, the things that we accomplished that season, it
Mm.
was ridiculous,
Mhm.
but, yeah, like, it was a part-time gig,
Okay.
Stetson was,
So wait, Stetson was it? Stetson was
at the
part-time?
time.
So what did you do? Okay. How did you make ends meet? What did you do? Did you
Well,
just live on
I had
shoestring?
roommates. I had roommates.
Okay.
And my rent was rather low because
Okay.
we rented a house on the east side of DeLand, so it wasn't too
Mhm.
expensive. I think
Mhm.
my rent was like, I don't know, 400 something.
Okay, so it's
It was
manageable.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was awesome. And my roommates were great. My roommates were great.
Yeah.
They're still coaching, they're doing their thing.
Okay.
One I think one's at Mizzou and the other one is at Mason,
Oh, nice.
basketball and baseball. So,
Oh, I love that.
oh, yeah, they were
Aw.
really great guys, really
Yeah.
great guys. But yeah, so that's how that's how I was able to live.
Mhm.
And I had a lot of furniture that they didn't have much.
Mhm.
I had a house.
Yeah.
I
So you had all your stuff.
had all my
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, hey, what do you guys have? What do you guys need? What can I bring?
Yeah.
And so kind of like that whole college situation
Uh-huh.
where I can supply all of this. What do we need?
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Worked.
yeah, so it worked out. And basically, I mean, between you, me, and the watchers, listeners,
Uh-huh.
I sold my house and it helped if I got into any trouble.
Yeah. You had foresight to
I
know
had
that
it. Yes.
I have to have
Yeah.
I have to have a plan B. So this
Yes.
is what's going to help me if I need to take a step backwards and do something and
Correct.
reassess where I'm at.
Correct. Correct. So as we went to the NCAAs, it was still a part-time position.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I didn't hear about a full-time position there until I got to Texas A&M,
Okay.
Corpus.
Yeah.
So that was even after FAU. I was at FAU for a hot minute.
Yeah.
But if I could have stayed there,
Oh,
and if gratitude was a form of currency, I'd be rich,
yeah.
even from my time being there. Like it was like, and I'll say it honestly, like I've told Steve, I told Steve and Capri both, like I was like, I would have stayed
Yeah.
if that was a form of payment.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard nothing but those same comments about that program. Yeah.
and it's
Absolutely.
still that way. Like
Yeah.
they did a heck of a job building that culture. And
Mhm.
um I'm just like, till this day, Steve is one of my closest. Like,
Yeah.
just what it is.
Yeah.
I
Great
love
guy.
that tall man.
Me too. Super tall.
Super tall.
Super tall.
Yeah.
But you were there for, like you said, a red hot minute. Then you went to Texas.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Went to Texas A&M Corpus
A&M.
Christi.
Mhm.
So on my way there, stopped in Baton Rouge.
Mhm.
Again, I was about 45 minutes out. Why is it 45 minutes? I don't know. It's like literally like I see the sign. I'm like, oh, let me call,
Yeah.
like they had nothing else going on.
It's perfect.
So I called Russell and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in Baton Rouge in about 30 minutes. You want to grab lunch or something? He's like, well,
Yeah.
I got a meeting, but I can walk you around. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's do that. And
Yeah.
FYI, for those that don't know, Russell is the LSU
Mhm.
head beach volleyball coach there.
Yes.
And he also was the indoor coach there too for a while,
I
right?
did not know that.
I think so. Or he was an indoor coach. He may not have been at LSU. I need to look that up.
I don't know.
But in any case, you had the
Yeah.
head coach showing
Yeah.
you around the campus, which, by
Yeah.
the way, is amazing.
No, I didn't understand it.
Until you were like,
it was
what?
wild. Yeah, it was so wild. Their football team has a practice locker room and a game day locker room.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah, it blew
Mind
my
blown.
mind.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did
It
you get to see
was
Mike the Tiger? Was he out?
I did. Yes, he
I love it.
was.
I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah, he walked me through their library. He walked me
Mhm.
through their facility, their beach volleyball facility,
Mhm.
which is so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
It's beautiful.
I didn't understand how much food they supply all of their athletes with. They can eat anywhere at any given time.
Anytime. Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. They had a snack bar in the athletes' library. By the
Yeah.
way, athletes' library. Okay. Let's just put it there. That's it.
LSU is way up here
Oh
in
my
in
gosh.
my
Like
book.
their amount of resources is just uncanny to anywhere else. Like
Yes.
it's a hands down.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So, but no, yeah, he walked me around. He's like, we're not going to go see the other side of campus because that's all academics and that's super far and I don't have time. And
Okay.
I was like, all right, that's fine.
I'm
I'm
with
like,
you.
this is what interests me the most anyway, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
absolutely.
Got to walk on the field, on the football field.
Mhm.
Oh, that was cool. I looked up
Which
at
is
the stadium and
Death
I was like,
Valley.
this is yes.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I was like, "Ooh, this is large."
Yes, right?
Yes,
I have a
yes.
friend that her son plays football there, and I'm just like,
Oh,
What?
yes.
Like,
It's
what?"
wild.
It's just crazy.
Crazy. Yes.
Yes. So you're 45 minutes out, call Russell, you go on campus, you're headed to Texas.
Yeah.
How long were you at Texas for?
For the COVID season, just
Oh.
before COVID season.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So then COVID hits, and
COVID
what happened?
hits. And so, okay. So here's this. So COVID hits. Um, I'm deciding that I need to move on because I'm running out of money,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I have just wasted all of my money on, not wasted. I have expended what I
Mhm.
had wanted to expend,
Mhm.
um, on trying to pursue a dream.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that I wasn't close plenty of times.
Mhm.
Before I got to Texas, I took the head. I took. I didn't take the head position, but I interviewed for a head position at a couple of schools,
Okay.
which I was just happy to get a call back.
Right,
You
right.
know, one was Tulane,
Oh, great.
and
Yeah.
the other one was Southern Miss.
Okay. Oh,
And
man, I could see you at either of those places. That'd be great.
I was a
Yeah.
finalist at both of those
Yeah.
places. Um, just didn't work out, but no
Yeah.
big deal. Like I'm just happy that I had a callback, at that
Right.
point. That just meant that I was closer,
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but needless to say, I left the NCAA and
Mhm.
I called a friend and I was like, hey, like I'm leaving Texas. A fraternity brother of mine from college,
Okay.
that we have kept in touch. Um, and I was like, hey, can you float me a position?
Yeah.
And he did so graciously, at the company that he worked for. He was pretty high up. He's been
Mhm.
working for this company well, it's a family company, but he's been working for the company for about, well, as soon as he got out of college.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they wanted somebody in marketing, and he saw what I did with my beach volleyball program in Chicago, and he said he
Right.
liked that.
Right.
So I did.
And this
He,
is this in Little Rock? Is
yeah,
this in Arkansas?
yeah.
So that's the
That's how I
trajectory of how
got.
you got
Yep.
there.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So did you know when you moved there that you wanted to start a beach volleyball program
No.
of your own?
No. What I actually told myself is that, like,
I'm done?
well, yes, I was done.
Okay.
I did not want to touch indoor. Excuse me, I did not want to touch outdoor. I
Mhm.
was done with the game. I didn't want to play it.
Wow.
Even recreationally. Like I didn't even want the bag of balls in my house.
Wow. Why do
Yeah.
you think that was?
I was trying to separate myself away from the game to
Mhm.
focus on a more lucrative lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah.
And
You just
so
you just put it over there.
yeah, just
Yeah.
maybe even not forever, just for right now,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
And so what I found myself doing is I found myself going back into indoor.
So
So
so interestingly, you couldn't get away from
I
it.
really couldn't. It was so
Oh,
dumb.
it's not dumb. No.
So
I think your intentions were there for, well, like, look, this is what I have to do. This is what I've done. I've done this job so far, and this is where I'm at. So now it's time for me to put this over here and focus on a different direction. But isn't that funny how it just kind of boop, boop, boop,
yes, it was like
start
it led
happening?
me in. Like the volleyball guys were just like,
Yeah.
stop, just go.
Yeah.
You're fighting something that you shouldn't be fighting right now. Like,
Yeah.
so
Wow.
yeah, so I started helping out a 16 elite team in one of the indoor volleyball programs there, Elite
Okay.
Volleyball Academy, EVA for short.
Uh-huh.
And I was under the head coach, the owner operator head coach.
Okay.
And she had the 16 elite team. And so she's like, well, I'll take you on as an assistant. I can't really pay you that much, but I'll take you on as an assistant and you can help us practice. I didn't really budget for you to travel. And I was like, you know what? That's perfect.
It's great.
I don't
I
want to
have a
travel.
job.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come and be a part when I
Yeah.
can.
Yes, that's right. I mean, I have my hands full here,
Yeah.
but if I can help out in practice, that's all I really want to do.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to talk. I just want to play against them,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, like
Yeah.
keep myself active in a
Yeah.
sense. So I did. And it was great. And it
Mhm.
was super fun. And um, I got to build a rapport with the girls, you know, just I made fun of them, you know, when I blocked them and they made fun of me when they smoked through my block. Like it was,
Right.
you know,
Right.
it was just one of
Right.
those, you know, and
Right.
they were so competitive. It was just really cool to again have that culture and rapport
Back in
with
your life. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So and then all of a sudden one of the starting outsides had contacted me through, oh gosh, it was either DM, Instagram, or their parents DM. I can't remember, but it
Mhm.
was no, she DM'd me and she asked me if she can get some beach volleyball lessons. And I was like,
Okay. Uh, so she must have known your background.
she had to do some kind of creeping because
Yeah.
I did
You
not
hadn't
tell her.
shared that.
Mm-mm,
Oh, wow, Vince. Okay.
no.
Okay.
Um, so I, I was hesitant and
Yeah.
begrudgingly I said yes because who am I to say no to
Okay.
someone who wants to learn beach volleyball?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um, that's what got me doing it in Chicago in the first place is
Yeah.
teaching better beach volleyball to younger athletes.
Right.
So I was like, well, if not me, who's it going to be? So I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
I might as well be me.
Okay.
And I started coaching her, and then her sister, Bella. So it was Abigail Logman.
Yes. I was going to say, I think I know
Yes.
who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Abigail came to me. She's like, "Hey, can you give me volleyball lessons?" I was like, "Yeah."
Uh-huh.
Eventually, I said yes, and then her sister came. Bella
Uh-huh.
started coming around and practicing with her. I
Mhm.
think it was just hey, this is what I'm doing. I want to go do it too, kind of thing. And Bella was super young.
Yeah.
So started coaching them, and I mean, oh gosh, one of our practices, we were out there. It was, I don't know,
Oh,
37 degrees, 38 degrees
gosh.
outside. Yeah, it was the year.
Painful.
So it was 2021, January 2021, where
Mhm.
we got a gnarly snowstorm in Little Rock. Like, I want to say it was like 3-4 feet,
Wow.
honest to God.
Yeah.
And everyone was saying, even the news was saying, like, we haven't had this since like 19 whatever,
Yeah. It's been a
like
while.
50, 60 something. And I
Mhm.
was like, well, just so happens I moved to Arkansas, want to stay out of the snow, and we
And
get 3
it's
feet.
following me.
Yes, like I'm like, stay away, stay north, like you're drunk, like
Yes.
get out of here. So the snow melts, whatever, and we get back on the bed, get back in the sand,
Uh-huh.
and Dad and I had established somewhat of a rapport
Mhm.
and definitely a working relationship.
Mhm.
And he said, how cool would it be if we were able to, build something here? And I'm like, don't tempt me with a good
I
time.
was gonna say, yeah, you're speaking your language right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and it was slow going, but it always is,
Yeah.
and I wanted to figure out, like, how do I do this?
Mhm.
Like, how, if I'm going to start Prime again, number one, if I'm going to start Prime again, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It was hard as all get out leaving those girls the first time in
Yeah.
Chicago,
Yeah.
especially them 12 U's. Like
Yeah.
uh, I,
Those
I,
babies that
yeah,
love what you're doing and appreciate you so much. Yeah.
yes, and I was so close with their family,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, with all the families of Prime. Like that's just something that happens. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like we all become like that.
Yeah.
Um, So anyways, I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, like, I can't go anywhere. Like
Right.
this Arkansas is where I'm going to be. Like it's
Yeah.
got to happen that way. Um, And and the parents were really reluctant because they're like, well, how do we know you're going to stay? Because they
Oh,
knew my track record. How do we know you're going to stay? Like, how do we know, like, if we transition, right? Because
right.
they're indoor still.
Primarily indoor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
If we transition, how do we know you're going to stick around?
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I start this up again, I can promise you I'm not leaving.
I'm here. Yeah.
I'm here. Like,
Mhm.
that's my promise.
Mhm.
Not to even to you guys, but for myself and then
Yeah.
for your daughters,
Yeah.
and whoever else becomes part of this program.
Right.
And I say that so sincerely because that's just the way that was.
Mm-hmm.
But now what's the genetic makeup of the program?
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to turn into beach. No one wants to
Yeah.
like turn in their shoes, like
Yeah.
everywhere else. It's, indoor is king.
It really is. It's such an interesting culture. If you look at how those indoor players and coaches look at beach,
Yeah.
it's gone 50-50. Some
Yep.
really, really appreciate it and understand what it is and what it can how it can benefit each other.
Such a benefit.
Yeah. And some are just like, nope,
Yeah.
not
Like,
done.
yeah, you're right. Tunnel vision.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
But so it was tough going and slow
Mm-hmm.
going at first. And I was like, well, what do I do? Like, how do I do this?
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a few girls in the Fayetteville area, which is about 3 hours away,
Okay.
that also wanted to pursue beach volleyball,
Okay.
also playing indoor as well.
Yeah.
And they knew them, and vice versa. And I was like, well, all right, well, let's do this. Let's get a little tiny group together,
Yeah.
and just I'll just go out coach,
Yeah.
So we got these gnarly high level girls out there playing, and I'm like,
That's crazy.
I can get
There's
into this.
something to this.
Yes,
Yeah, there's something
exactly.
to this.
There
Yeah.
is something to this. And then it's almost like God was speaking because he's like, you're doing this. And then, oh, look, all of a sudden there's this crazy big beach facility in Springfield, Missouri
That opens.
that
Mhm.
opens
Mhm.
out of just sheer happenstance, right?
Yeah.
Like to my existence anyway. Their existence, it wasn't happenstance.
Yeah.
Like they were dead set on doing that.
Right.
But like here, I'm like, that's 3 hours away.
Yeah.
That's not far at all.
Yeah. That's doable.
Yes.
Mhm.
Especially for tournaments, that's nothing.
Yeah. Sounds like the pieces are coming together for you.
It was. And so, but I was still trying to figure out what the genetic makeup of it was.
Get it. Yeah.
And what it was, what really it was, I started recruiting.
Okay.
And I started recruiting players that were independents.
Yeah.
Because I would never, morally, I can't take a player from another program. I just can't.
Right. Understand.
And I can with the blessing of with the blessing of their coaches, beach or indoor or whatever have you.
Absolutely.
So there's that. And so I started training for those four. It was Ella Weiler and Brooke Rockwell with Abigail and Bella.
Can I say where all of them are at now?
Yeah, absolutely.
So excited. Ella's at Central Arkansas playing beach.
Yep.
Brooke is at Stanford playing beach, which is no joke.
Yeah.
Abigail, the one that DM'd you, is a freshman at South Carolina playing beach, doing amazing.
Yes.
And Isabella just recruited to play at the LSU.
Yeah. She verbally committed to LSU. And big shout out to my friends up in Kansas City, P413, the Schiffenbergs, because Ella and Brooke, they were a part of P413.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
So, but going to Springfield consistently because we had nowhere else to go.
Right.
That's close to them, so they just joined up. They joined in whenever we had our training. So
it made like sense for them proximity.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And then through tournaments being held at VBO, Volleyball Beach Ozark, that's what that big facility is called.
Yeah.
I was able to meet Mia Scanlon.
Yes.
And I remember recruiting her, not recruiting her, but I remember like assessing her play
Yeah. Yeah.
and her attitude and like everything that you would do as a recruiting coach, at the D1 level. Like, what do they like? What do they like with their partner? How's their attitude? How's their attitude off the court? All of those things.
Yeah.
I'm starting to putting into play. And, honestly, I really love that part.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, like that's a player that I want in the program, but how do I sell this? Like, how do I make this happen? So needless to say, Mia becomes a part of the program. She's primarily partnering up with Molly Thomas.
Right.
And so I assess Molly Thomas at ECC.
Okay.
And then Jada Bishop, she comes along later that year. And this was funny, but anyways, she comes, her mom DMs me saying, hey, like I want beach volleyball. Like my daughter wants to play beach volleyball.
Right.
We'll come to Arkansas. Now, mind you, Jada is from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. That's a distance.
4.5 hours. Like,
yeah.
gnarly distance. She's like, we'll come there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it, but okay, fine, whatever. Like, we'll make it work. And now we got this group.
Yes.
This recruited group.
Yes. Because all of them are recruited, FYI. Even the last three that you said.
Yes.
FGU, FGCU, UNF, all Division I programs.
Yes. Florida Atlantic, Florida Gulf Coast, and University of North Florida. Yeah.
No, it just says something about what you built and what you're doing. It's great.
It says something about what I've built, but it also, they have built it.
Yeah.
They did it. And if it wasn't for them and their parents, it'd be nothing.
Yeah.
Like they built the culture. They, I just set the expectations and they adopted those expectations as their own.
Yeah.
And it snowballed from there. Like it was nothing. It was easy for everyone to buy in because that's just what it was. And family wise, it couldn't have been better. Like,
it sounds like all the pieces, again, like I said before, like all the pieces just kind of started fitting together for you.
Yeah. 100%.
Undeniable that's the right place for you. After you had actually put the volleyballs away and like, I don't want to see them. I don't even want to play recreationally. I don't want to do any of that. You were headed a different direction. So obviously there were other plans for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, to say the least.
Yeah. So your club Prime has gone on to do phenomenal things. Obviously, your athletes, and you've joined together with some other clubs as well for different trainings. I know it's been a very exciting times in the Midwest. And you think about the Midwest being a beach volleyball kind of area.
Powerhouse,
You don't think about that, but they're powerhouse players.
Yeah,
do not deny them because they are undeniably like strong-willed, very, very driven.
Yeah.
Very, very purposeful about what it is that they're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And as goofy as we are off the court, that's how serious we are on the court. Yeah. They definitely work hard and they definitely play hard and work harder. Whatever they say, however the saying goes. Yeah.
I totally
they're great.
Knowing them and from knowing and being around that. Yeah, absolutely. I want to skip forward just a little bit because this creation of this club and everything that you are attaining and all of your athletes and everything that the good stuff that's coming to all of you from the foundation that you started. Yeah. So thankful that you had, and you've talked about it a lot, about that family unit and that bond that you all have, because you had a terrible accident this past summer.
Yeah, I had another automobile accident. Let's chalk it up to like number 4.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Vince,
we're done having auto accidents.
Tell me about it.
Like, this is done.
Done.
Yes. Yes. But Vince you had a motorcycle accident that was pretty catastrophic in that initial time period. And you're still working through rehab from that, correct?
I am. Yeah. Big time.
Share a little bit about what happened with you. and what you remember, because from what I was given information wise, I know there was your recall of that incident had to have been like there's a piece of time, like a Jenga puzzle pulled out.
A Jenga puzzle. There's many Jenga puzzles that were
Yeah.
pulled out. Honestly, to God,
Yeah.
like, so I get this motor. Like I have rode motorcycles for a long time.
Okay.
This is not my first motorcycle. This is not my first rodeo.
Yeah.
I know how to navigate bikes. I know how to ride. And so I've been contemplating my time in Arkansas because the nice weather all year round, pretty much, I should get a bike.
Okay.
I was like, well, I don't want to crotch rocket a street bike because I know I'm dangerous on them. I was dangerous prior, right?
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So
older, wiser.
That's right. A little bit more conservative. So
Yes.
I'm going to go slower.
Yes. Yes.
So I get a cruiser.
Perfect. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, naturally, you don't ever go to a dealership wanting to buy anything.
Yeah.
You naturally just go to look, right?
Right.
Yeah. Look, right. So I go in there. I end up
totally different happened.
Yeah, I end up leaving with a 2019 Sportster, titled to my name.
Okay. You're like, and here we are.
And here we are. And the reason why I bought it, one, because I was like, I've navigated the traffic in Arkansas. I can do it. Like I can do it. Yeah. Number two, it's my 40th birthday. I'm gonna get me a bike. Yeah, and what I'm gonna do, especially after the season we had. Great, successful season. Loved it.
Yes, yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get me a bike, and then for my birthday, I plan on going up to Chicago for Labor Day weekend. Wanted to catch the AVP, wanted to come visit family, and I'm gonna end up riding up to my family's house on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
I bought everything. I bought a passenger seat. I bought a luggage bar. I bought a phone holder so I can have my Bluetooth on my head, on my helmet, everything, right?
Okay.
Ready to go.
Okay.
I go out. So I pick up my bike on Monday. I go to work on Friday. I on my bike. And then later that day, I go home after work, and I'm like, you know what? I want a hamburger.
Okay.
I don't eat hamburgers very often, but I want a hamburger.
Okay.
And some onion rings.
All
right, fine. So I go to a restaurant, get a hamburger and onion rings, and mind you, it's about 5:30. Okay, so it's not late at all. Okay, spend an hour eating, waiting for food, eating, watching TV, go out, hop on the bike. And I was like, you know what? I want to go see the sunset. Now it's around 6:30. Hang out by the beach courts. There's a really awesome sunset over down by the river, overlooking the bridge, what they call the Big Dam Bridge. It's the dam in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And a bridge that goes over it.
Yes.
And I'm like, those are some really awesome sunsets there. It's very picturesque.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to, ride back before it gets dark, as the sun's going down.
Mm-hmm.
So on my way to the courts, to the parking lot of the beach volleyball courts, I passed the first light and I was like, should I go down there? Yeah, I'm going to go down there. Someone pulls out in front of me, hits the brakes. Don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Don't remember the rest. I remember swerving.
Wow. That's it.
That's it.
What do you remember? What was the next recollection you had after that?
Waking up in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
Waking up in the hospital a day later, 2 days later, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. They thought I was going to, the hospital was very surprised that I even woke up that early. They thought I was going to be in a coma for at least like a week.
Oh, wow, Vince.
Yeah.
Oh. What do you recall as your first thought when you woke up? We were like, holy crap, where am I? What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
Like did it really happen?
Okay.
And then I noticed my surroundings. I was like,
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah. So I remember hearing that the individual that wanted to start the beach volleyball with Abigail's dad, and it was like I reached out because we had all heard that there had been something happening, and he gave me information that they couldn't, like, you went missing, like, which was unusual for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he couldn't get in touch with you, so they knew something was up, and you were by yourself initially in the hospital.
Yeah. So we were supposed to have practice. Oh my gosh. Uh, Sometime very shortly after I wrecked.
Yeah.
Um, Abigail texts me, Bella texts me.
Mhm.
One of my adopted players texted me, Riley Melton. She plays at Coastal Carolina,
Mhm.
and she came back home and always trained with me
Yeah.
and the girls. It was awesome. So I kind of adopted her into the Prime family.
Yes.
Um, and none of them could get hold of me.
Yeah.
None of them saw any posts for me. And they're like, it's odd that he didn't post within 3 days. Like he's always
Yeah.
posting. I'm always
Yeah.
posting, you know?
Yeah.
And so they couldn't get a hold of me. Parents
Mhm.
couldn't get a hold of me. Derek couldn't get a hold of me. They're like, okay, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So Derek couldn't get a hold of me, and he was like, okay, we got to figure this out.
Right.
And then they were going to call the cops. And then Riley's mom, Susan Melton, she's like, let me do some digging.
Mhm.
Let me see if I can track him down.
Mhm.
And she found out where I was. She told
Mm.
Derek,
Yeah.
Abigail's dad, and then it all started to come together for them.
Yeah. Then your community surrounded you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community, to say the least.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't. Beach volleyball, we all know, is a small world, or
Yeah.
volleyball in general is a small world. Beach
Right.
volleyball, obviously, we know that it's even smaller.
Yeah.
And if I honestly, like I did not know my place in the
Mm.
community at all. Like I
Oh.
didn't.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the community showed up
Yeah.
in the largest way
Yes.
I could possibly even think. From the players that were part of my program, from the players that were part of the programs that surrounded my program,
Mhm.
to everyone else that was, including yourself, like just a part of the community. Like
Yeah.
it showed up in the largest way I could ever imagine, and I thank everyone for that. All the prayers, all the blessings, all the
Mhm.
thoughts, all the texts, all of the
Yes. Yes. It's that connection.
yeah.
And you establish that in that foundation, like in the fact that you're in the work that you are in and how it happened and you were walking away from it and it still happened. It just tells you
Yeah.
it's really a piece of you. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. In essence, I thought I was just like a tumbleweed blowing in the wind. Really, I thought I was. No,
That's interesting.
it showed me that I was a little bit more than a tumbleweed blowing in the
Yeah.
wind. Yeah.
Yeah. How many surgeries have you had to have since the accident? Hmm.
I'm counting.
Yeah.
All right. So spine surgery,
Mhm.
pelvic surgery, um, and then I had a complete reconstruction of my left leg
Okay.
because my left leg was to smithereens. Just put it
Ah,
that way.
yeah.
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 And then I think as far as surgeries are concerned, that was the basic of it all.
Yes.
But the spine surgery obviously was the biggest one.
Right.
And so actually the spine and pelvic,
Right.
I can't downplay the pelvic surgery because what happened is that, like, if you know anatomy at all, like you have
Mhm.
your hips and then your pelvic bone comes like together and it forms this like U shape.
Right.
Well, it broke in half like
Ah,
that, like in what they call as an open book fracture
yeah.
to your pelvic bone. So they had to basically reconstruct that as well. and
Wow, Vince.
put all the pieces back together.
So tell me a little bit about that recovery process and the rehabilitation process, because I know you were in the hospital with those surgeries for quite a while,
Yeah.
and then you transitioned to a rehab facility.
Yeah. So,
Tell me a little bit
um,
about
yeah, so I was in ICU for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks.
that. Mhm.
Surgeries and making sure that I was stable
Yeah.
and um, oh, and I had a gnarly puncture in my rib cage, like
Oh,
punctured my lungs.
oh my God.
Yeah,
Let's not forget that.
yeah.
Big
Sorry.
deal.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
gotta breathe.
Yeah, you
So,
gotta breathe. Oh,
so
wow. I mean, we're laughing about it now because you're
yeah,
sitting here and we're having this conversation about the great things that your life has brought you.
yeah.
But yeah, at the time,
No,
that's
no,
hard.
gnarly, like
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, intensive care unit for a reason.
Yeah.
And so, but I was there for 3.5 weeks, and then
Mhm.
I was at a middle kind of like a kind of like a layover hospital between like a rehab center and like the ICU.
Okay.
Um, I can't remember what it's called, so for the
Mhm.
life of me, I can't. Sorry
Yeah.
for lack of terms, but I was there for another 3 weeks.
Okay.
So can you imagine, like, you're injured, I'm in a cast, my leg is still healing,
Yeah.
um, just okay. Now
Mhm.
you're moving. Now you're going to a different hospital. three
Yeah.
weeks. Okay, now you're going to a different place. 3 weeks, and I
Yeah.
was like, can I slow down? Like this.
They
This
just
was the hardest part for me mentally.
the movement was.
Yes. Like,
Okay.
I'm like, can I just grip my bearings? Like,
Yeah.
because I just feel like at when I was at the University Medical Hospital of Arkansas, UAMS, um, I was like, obviously I was healing, but I was getting acclimated to hospital life, right? I
Yeah.
knew I was there for a long time.
Yeah.
So like all the beeps and drips and oh my God, I was going nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going crazy.
Yeah.
So I was getting used to it. And then at the next hospital I was at, um, I was getting used to like, okay, I'm here. Like I don't have to get used to the hospital noise anymore. But what I got to get used to is like, um, FYI, but like having to go to the bathroom
Right.
and like being a little bit more mobile,
Yeah.
finding out what my rehab is going to be like, actually getting out of bed and
Mhm.
figuring out how to, like, I didn't know how to
Yeah.
get out of bed,
Yeah.
you
Because at
know?
this point, your legs were not supporting you.
No, we'll even get into that a little bit more, but my legs are still not supporting me. It was like my trunk, like my abs, like my core
Mhm.
was like I couldn't sit on the edge of the bed.
Ah,
Like
yeah.
I was like wobbly. Um, and so like to even think three months ago, I wasn't able to do that.
Wow.
You know?
It's a big deal, Vince.
Yes,
It's
yes.
a really
Like
big deal. Yeah.
I don't know how big of a deal. I'm saying yes in that kind of passion because I've been told.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
But I think
so
too, if you want to talk about your fortitude and that I here we're going
yeah,
back to it.
sure. Yeah,
Believe that you belong to be there. So if you take that into another concept, you can say, believe that I belong here and that I
yeah,
can do it.
yeah,
Like, believe it.
yeah.
Like
Believe I
I can push
yeah. So
and I'm not afraid to.
what was crazy is that my dad, very, very, very conservative person.
Okay.
Okay. Very logistical, like conservative on the point where like, you know, uh, we have to keep in mind that you may not walk again.
Okay. He's
Okay.
saying that to you?
Yes, yes. And I'm like, I understand that. I know that might be a possibility. I get it. And we had a timeline figured out
Mhm.
for me to get extracted back to Chicago. I shouldn't back
Okay.
home, back to
Mhm.
Chicago, with family. And he's like, what if you cannot be extracted? What if you're not that mobile yet? And I'm like, Dad, I understand where you're coming from. And I know you're my father and I know you're looking out for me. And I know you have to be like that.
Yeah.
But I look him dead set in the eye. I'm like, I have no doubt that I will be able to walk by then.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you know? I'm like, I know.
Yeah. I just know.
I know. I was dead set on it.
Mhm.
He's like, okay, but we still have to figure it out. Like, if you can't, I was like,
But when we get
It's not even my brain.
he's the plant. It's the dad. It's the planner in it.
Yes, he's the planner. He's the logical, the more logical one, right?
Yeah.
Like the conservative one. So time goes by. I'm getting shuffled through the insurance process because it's all just insurance.
Yes.
Don't get me started on that. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. The whole, But I end up in a nursing facility because I wasn't ready to go to an inpatient hospital or an inpatient rehab yet because I was still healing. My left leg was still not weight bearing.
Yeah.
I had a fracture in my right leg, my right ankle. I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
So I spent my time at this nursing facility. And it wasn't it was a short-term care facility. So it wasn't like a nursing home, but in essence, it was a nursing home. Right.
Okay.
And they were awesome. They were so great. The therapy team there allowed me to take risks where I wasn't able to take risks before.
Okay.
There were calculated risks, but also there were some uncalculated risks that I took upon myself to do. But if I didn't do it, like I wouldn't know.
That's the thing I was just going to say. I don't think without pushing that envelope, you have any understanding.
Zero. I had zero understanding what I could do and what I was capable of, right? Because if you imagine it and you go through step by step in your brain and you think you could do it within your scope, you should be able to do it.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt.
Yeah.
So, it was there where I made a lot of gains.
Good.
A lot of gains. So much so where by the time I was done there, which I was a month there.
Okay.
And I was so happy to have that extra week that I was like, okay, I could be ready in another 2 weeks. And now we're coming up to the end of October. Right. I was like, if I get to November 1, I want to transfer November 1 to an inpatient rehab facility where I can put all of my into my rehab.
Yes.
And throughout this entire situation, I was dead set on being positive. I was dead set on grinding it out. I was dead set on, okay, this is my job. I was dead set on a lot of things. Like what risks can I take? What new workouts can I do? How can I push myself? I was dead set on all of those things.
Yeah.
And the last thing on my mind was negativity.
Yeah.
Like, did it come? Yeah, it came. But I had to own up to that because I could get mad at everybody else. But why? That made no sense and it got me nowhere.
Right.
So I didn't even focus on that. I let it hit me for the times that it hit me, and I still do.
Yeah.
But I talked to people through it. I prayed about it. Yeah. Spiritually, I got more spiritual throughout this entire situation. And where people sometimes would lose their faith, I got more into it. Like, and without it, like I wouldn't have gotten this far without my faith, honestly. Yeah. So it's just, with that positive mindset and being able to work through what I've worked through thus far and keep on pushing and keep on grinding. I've gotten to be able to do a lot of things that in 4.5 months, which we're at now, we're at, hold on. So if you count August, I really don't count August because like I was still recuperating.
Sure.
So you got, let's say you do count August to September, October, November to December. I'm in 4 months recovery.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is so insanely crazy to think about the injuries that you had.
Yeah.
And you're 4 months out.
Yeah. 4 months. And I'm able to, like, even before I got my leg braces, I was able to walk in a walker. I was able to walk on parallel bars. I was so hell-bent on taking first steps at my rehab, at my nursing facility and trying to figure out how to navigate those. Yeah. I was like, I took my first step, like onto a step, like not just walk step, but step like into a stair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
at that facility before I even could learn it. Like I
Yeah.
was so dead set on it. It just goes to my competitive nature. Like I just like I'm
Yes,
so competitive with
absolutely.
myself,
Yeah.
um, and and it plays in now. Like I'm so competitive with myself. Like last Friday, so today I had rehab. Last Friday, I took 80 steps.
That's great.
Or no, excuse me. I walked 80 feet. I walked 80 feet. Okay.
Okay.
Still great because
Yes.
I was at 20 for the longest time,
Yeah.
30 for the longest time.
Yeah.
I took 80, I walked 80 feet and I was huffing and puffing. I
Yeah.
was huffing, puffing. I was drenched in sweat. Like
Yes.
I was smoked. Like I
But I
was out.
guarantee you were grinning and
Oh, I was so
smiling,
happy.
so excited about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was super stoked.
Yeah.
And so today I went through rehab, 87 feet. No,
Okay.
my therapist had to stop me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even break a sweat.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So, but I'm working out. I'm going to the gym.
Mhm.
People look at me in the gym funny. Like you know what? I don't care. I'm here to do work.
Yeah.
And you know what? If like you can't get behind it, then don't talk to me. I'm fine.
Right.
Like look at me funny. I don't
Right.
care. But like the
So
ones that have, like you could tell for the
mhm.
ones that go there constantly,
Mhm.
they're like, commend you, dude. Commend you, bro.
Yep.
Hey, how long have you been out? Well, I'm here for your entire, I'm here for the entire process, kind of thing.
Yep.
Like everyone's super supportive.
Mhm.
That is there on a consistent basis.
Right.
And like again, have built another semi community. Like
Yes.
I don't
Well,
know.
and it's interesting too that you're talking about like I had a guest who's a professional athlete, and he was talking about staying in his own lane mentally.
Yep.
Like stay, and that's one way that he can stay super hyper vigilantly focused on his process
Yeah.
and contributing to his process to the best of his ultimate ability by keeping those blinders on. And obviously you see people around you and you observe and you're aware of what's going on, but your focus has to be so fundamentally sound on what your process is.
Yeah.
Because just the competitive nature in your brain right now that you're talking about is such a testament to where you are. So tell me about where you are prognosis wise. What are your therapists and your doctors saying? Are there any more surgeries that you're going to have to go through at this point? Do they know? Or is it just kind of a waiting to see how you're continuing to heal?
No, I shouldn't have to have any other surgeries. The only
Mhm.
other surgeries I would have that I would have to have is if I start going backwards.
Okay.
If I start going backwards, then they're going to have to do another neurological surgery, whatever.
Okay.
But so far, so great.
Yep.
I do have to give like a really big shout out to my work, like my day job,
Yeah.
because without them, like I wouldn't be able to do any of this
Yeah.
rehab. Be here where I'm at, work remotely. Like big shout out and I talked about him earlier. He gave me the job, my fraternity brother.
Yeah.
We've built this company. The company that I work for is Windsor Door.
Okay.
We've built it to like a larger corporation
Yes.
called Windsor America,
Okay.
and we're in the business of garage doors. But that aside, he has given me so much,
Yeah.
not only on the professional side, but like anytime that he was home, like home in Arkansas, like
Mhm.
anytime that he was home, not on a business trip, he was at my place.
Oh.
Like he was there. What do you need? Do you want extra? Do you want any food from outside? Do you want the kids to come by? Do you like whatever? It didn't matter. Do you want, I'm out of town, but do you want Sarah and, the kids to come by to, come visit you? Like, didn't matter.
Oh.
Like the dude showed up in
Yeah.
such a big way.
Yeah.
And like a community, like you said earlier, like,
Mhm.
and even my coworkers showed up in a large way.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional about it, but
No, it's good.
my
I
my
think
last
too.
day, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I think too, like the part that really resonates and that really speaks to me from what you said earlier, just a little piece of it was like, you didn't really here you are just thinking you're just bouncing around out here.
Yeah.
I'm just Vince bouncing around out here and I
Yeah.
don't really know all these people, don't really have this foundation. And they showed up.
Big
So
time.
that connection that you have been able to make with other people is immeasurable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has seemed to be so.
Yeah.
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 Very
And
blessed.
it's
So
and being emotional about it is absolutely 100% understandable because of where you have been, where you have come through, and where what season you're in right now, and
yeah,
the competitive season. I'm going to call it the competitive season that you're in right
it is competitive
now.
100%. And I wouldn't be able to be as competitive without everybody um, in my community.
Yeah.
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 So, but the prognosis, to go back to your original question, sorry to
Mhm.
derail
No, it's good.
as much as I have in the
All good.
interview.
All good.
Sorry.
All good.
Um, so the prognosis is that the doctor said that I should not have a problem having a full recovery.
Okay.
Um, so much so where even some of the doctors, as like when I was like healing,
Mhm.
in the process, as I was healing and how fast I was getting, how strong I was getting so
So
fast,
quickly. Yeah.
um, they said that they wouldn't be surprised if I can play again,
Oh, wow.
recreationally, that is.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Oh.
okay.
Well, you take that and just tuck that right here, and you just
Oh,
pull that out when on days when you are feeling low, and just go, "Okay, okay, it's still there."
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Give me a taste of it.
Yeah.
I, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to strive for it.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. So I was on another podcast uh, before the holiday,
Mhm.
and they were all saying that it's it's we won't, if it's anybody, it's you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so I'm very, again, community, right? I could speak on and on about the community.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
just showed up so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have any problem.
Great.
Mentally right now, like, yeah, it's tough going,
Mhm.
but like again, I put myself here in
Mhm.
essence.
Mhm.
So own it
Mhm.
and grind through it, because you know what? According to my boss, which is my friend that I work for, this is
Mhm.
my job now.
Yeah.
Get better,
Oh, I love
do
that.
better,
Yeah.
and we're here for it. And
Yeah.
that's what my job is. And
Yeah.
um
Vince, you're in
yeah,
season right now.
I
You're
am.
in season.
I am, with taking a little, with doing other things as well. But like, yes, I mean, this is my season.
Yeah.
I fully agree with that.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you would, as an athlete, you wouldn't back off in your season.
No,
Yeah,
no,
not at all.
I
None of
go
your
harder.
athletes have. You work harder.
That's right.
There you go.
That's
There you
right.
go. What do you think has been the biggest blessing for all of this for you?
Well, number one, my work and being
Mhm.
able to allow me to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And number two, the families that I serve,
Yeah.
um, they have been the biggest supporters throughout this entire thing. And not saying that everyone hasn't, but like obviously I'm in constant contact with them.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so the families that I've served, from the 13 U's all the way up to the 18s,
Mhm.
I just, they're so supportive and just constantly checking in on me, and vice versa. Like I'm constantly just like dropping them a line, and
Yeah.
the mutual respect and the mutual worry and the want to know.
Yeah.
It's
That
just,
compare
yeah.
that compassion and that
Yes.
really deep well of
Yeah.
care for you as
Yes.
a person,
Yeah.
because it's for you as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps so much. Like, oh, just even the random people. Oh, we're just, I don't know. And I've gotten a couple of them on Facebook. Hey, I don't know you, but my whole community is praying for you.
Yeah.
Keep those coming, please.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I don't care if I'm out of the hospital. I need all of them, all the prayers, all the blessings.
Yes.
I truly believe it's gotten me to where I am.
It's a collective whole.
Such a collective whole.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that I feel like that gives you that fire that helps you tap into that competitive fire for you to go, "Okay, I've got people in my corner. I get
Yeah.
people on the bleachers on my side of the court."
Yes, 100%. And
Yeah.
even more so, like having them, yes, I have people, but I have my faith in my corner
Yeah.
more so than anything, because like I'm able to give up a lot to my faith. All the worry and um, all the harsh realities, I'm able to give up to them, I give up to my faith.
Yeah.
So much so where I don't have to worry about it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vince, that's beautiful. That's a hard place for a lot of people to get to.
I couldn't get there prior to this, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. Like I just didn't understanding it, giving all your worry and all your doubt and all your whatever to God. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Not until now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
So,
that's a huge, huge blessing for you.
oh,
Huge blessing. Yeah.
it's like a weight off my shoulders.
Wow. Vince,
Yeah.
that's great. Oh,
Yep.
thank you for sharing that. I think that's such a foundational thing. And knowing that hard things happen in life and that you do have the ability to move forward and move through them
Yeah.
and find your space
Yeah.
and be who you're supposed to be and find that deeper connection with that faith and that spiritual side for you.
Yeah. It's very prominent now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm
Yeah.
so
Very
glad.
happy about it.
Yeah. I'm so glad we got to talk today.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh.
This is awesome.
Well, and before I let you go though, I want to do I was like to leave it kind of lighthearted and do some rapid
Yeah.
fire questions. Are you cool with that?
Oh, I'm down.
All right. So I feel like we know your personality from this talk, but I want to know more.
Sure.
Okay. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So first question is describe your style in one word. One word.
Dude.
Dude.
Or well, this is not one word, but it's one catchphrase of mine. Right on.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? All I can see, I just recently spent some time with Mia and Molly's moms in
Oh yeah.
Ohio, and all I can see is them sitting there going, mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Love it. Okay. Question number 2. What item is worth spending more money on?
Sunglasses.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I just said it. There's your style.
It's
Right
well
on.
worth it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, hold the
Okay.
phone. Hold the phone. Either sunglasses or backpacks. It's one of
Okay.
the two. Because
Dude,
I
there's
mean,
something.
sunglasses, like you got to have protection to the sun, especially in our sport. Like they're so like you're out there all the time.
Mhm. Mhm.
You got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Or backpacks, because like we're always traveling.
Mhm.
And the best backpack will always stand up and through the worst of times. And if you don't have a good backpack, then who are you?
Yeah, there you go. Do you have random things? Like if we were to fish through your backpack, I mean, would we find some crazy stuff at the bottom of it? Or do you kind of stay cleaned out in your backpack and organized?
No, you could probably find a ton of sand in the bottom of my backpack. That thing hardly gets cleaned out. As dirty as that sounds.
I get it.
But I mean, I use fun. So you're going to find some sunscreen, even though it is speculated that I don't wear it at all ever. It also speculated that I wear baby oil instead. It's not a thing.
No, it's not. You're not wearing baby oil.
But you'll find sunscreen. You find at least on a given tournament day 3 pairs of sunglasses.
Okay.
And they got to be Oakleys.
Okay.
And they got to be. Recently, I've been on a hot pink and neon blue kick, because those are prime
That's
colors.
your club colors, yeah.
That's right. So yeah, you gotta get them.
Dude,
if you find them, you gotta get them, no matter the price.
Absolutely.
You might find some like Allen wrenches or some like secure straps for like volleyball nets. You know what I mean?
What are you carrying Allen wrenches around in your backpack for?
Oh
wait, nets and stuff too. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Dude, you're so prepared.
It's like in my trunk of the car, like I got wrenches, I got antenna, I got a waterproof backpack, a tent, some fire starters just in case. Like I don't
my
know.
gosh.
Yeah, it's gnarly. Like
Well, reminds me if I'm ever stuck in a stranded place that I want to be next to you with your backpack because you've got everything that you're going to need.
Yeah. I even have one of those Survivor straws where you can like drink dirty water and it like purifies it.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just thinking about what's the Bear Grylls. Do you know who I'm talking about? Bear Grylls.
Absolutely.
Okay. On National Geographic, like he would take people out into the nature and like help
Yeah.
them survive.
I could survive.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You would
100%.
totally. Okay, Bear Grylls, bring that show back. Put Vince on it.
Yeah. 100%.
Let's go.
I don't care. Like I'm in.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Question number 3. Right.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Would you rather be working within your dream job or win the lottery?
No, dream job.
Yeah. Fulfilling.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, obviously, like if I win the lottery, then like I could do my dream job like without like with no holds bars. But like, I mean, dream job just because it would be solidified. I'd be in my dream job. So
yeah, it'd be it. That's it.
That'd be it.
All right. Number 4.
Yeah.
What is this is good. I can't wait to hear this one. All right. What is the cringiest thing you did as a teenager?
Oh my God. The cringiest thing. Oh my gosh. Oh man, there's so many. I don't even understand. Like, are we like cringy goofy, cringy like that's gross, cringy like you're an idiot?
It could be it could be any of the above. Whatever you feel like sharing.
Oh geez. Okay. Okay. All right. I got it.
I see the wheels turning.
No, yeah.
Like you can see all the different bubbles over your head.
There was just so many things. Okay. I just had to pick one, but I guess the cringiest, now looking back on it, the cringiest thing, and there's proof.
Okay.
It's so bad. So like, okay, in all fairness, boy bands were really big. Okay.
Yes, they were.
And I was a senior in high school, and NSYNC was like the thing. Okay. So I had blonde tips. Like
Justin Timberlake did.
Yeah, platinum blonde tips.
Oh my God.
Bleach blonde, like, and spiky hair. Like, it was terrible. Puka shell necklace.
Let's go.
It was so cringe. So cringe that I want to bring back the puka shell necklace. That's
okay.
Like
oh my God. Totally.
I mean, right? Like it's sort of kind of coming back. Like I just kind of want it. Like
everything circles back around.
You know it? Like, and it was that white one.
Yes.
Exactly.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
My senior picture. That's it was. Yep. It was so bad, but it was.
Somebody pull out the senior picture.
Let's it was. It. Yeah. I mean, you could Ooh.
Oh no.
Ooh. There's a tie. There's a tie. Actually, you know what? This might take the cake.
Okay.
Okay. So in a different life, I was a DJ in Chicago. Like that was what I was pursuing at like, this is my part of my hiatus that I was talking about.
Okay.
For my 24th birthday, I was DJing at a club and it was rather large. I mean, like it was like a small concert venue. There was 1,400 people there.
Oh, that's a big deal.
It was kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
I was wearing eyeliner.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Why were you wearing eyeliner?
Because I had the whole emo thing going on. Like it was awful. Now that is cringe.
Okay. So either of those I'll take a picture of.
Either one. You could probably find them on my Facebook if you dig far enough.
I'm going to go digging after we're done today.
It was bad. Like totally, like you could tell.
I love it.
I have slanted eyes already. It was so like, it was so bad.
Anyone who's hearing this and listening to this, they might look for that.
They might. I wouldn't be surprised.
How funny. Okay.
So bad.
Number 5, and this will be, and then I'll let you totally off the hook. This is it'll have a little more depth to it than the cringe.
Okay. All right. The cringe was pretty good.
The cringe, I will give you that. The cringe was really a good one. Yeah. What do you wish you had learned sooner in your life than now?
That I wanted to go into coaching. Or no, excuse me. Sorry. that I wanted my life to be volleyball.
Okay.
If I had learned that sooner, my road would be a little bit different.
Sure.
I would say I would be a little bit further along
Mhm.
in my road, um, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Everyone that means different to that means something different to everybody. But
Right.
um, yeah, so I wish I would have come to the realization that I wanted to be around volleyball for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But here you are,
yeah, here I am.
and your process to get where you are has been really, really beautiful, even
Yeah,
with
yes, even with what I have going on right now,
Mhm. Yeah.
um, and I I do want to. Was that our last question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to leave with this, if
Yes.
that's okay.
Please, please. Yes.
So I'll, even through my process and getting better, and me like itching to get like more involvement in the sand, and it's hard with my juniors program to get more involvement because they're always doing their own thing, and they're in different areas, and they've actually been adopted by other programs. So
Right.
big shout out to Jaja Beach and P413 you know um, for doing that, for helping the kids out, because it's about the kids,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
allowing me to be able to they allowed me to do some guest appearances, like
Yes.
virtually, so that's been fun too.
I love that.
But I one thing that I did with Prime is that I did not set it up as a club,
Okay.
even though it walks, talks, and looks like a club.
Okay.
It's strictly a training program,
Okay.
for athletes whoever wants to do a training program that's more intense, that gets
Mhm.
them prepped for another level, et cetera, et cetera.
Uh-huh.
Um, and really, it was, I mean, other than the hometown girls, they were all like, all of our practices are clinics.
Okay.
So it's clinic based. And I set
Yes.
that up that way because just in case I wanted to get back into the Division 1 level.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have
I have a
different
way to keep it.
Mhm.
Like everyone has like, their own like clinics, like Hector has his own clinics. Kristen from ASU has her own clinic, so on and so forth.
Right.
I now also have then my own clinic.
There you go.
So it's based as that. Um, so to be clear, it never was really a club. It was
Mhm.
just a training program
Yeah.
where you get top level training.
Yeah.
Top level in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I
But
think that your results are speaking for themselves too.
I would like to think so.
Mhm.
But to each his own, right? Like
Sure.
it don't matter. But I do want to say this. I may be stepping back into the collegiate world
Okay.
shortly. Um, Not obviously. I I'm still in the process of learning how to walk again.
Mhm.
Obviously, to go back to prognosis,
Mhm.
but um, I will be doing video coordinating, like breaking down video, and
Yes.
doing the statistics thing, and really getting down into the nitty gritty, uh, for Stetson University.
Oh my god. Vince, that's a full circle moment for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh,
that's why I'm
that's
wearing
ex
my
look
A
at you, and
Sun.
you're wearing a sun. I couldn't see the bottom of it, and I was tempted to ask you earlier if that was the sun from yeah. Yeah, there it is. Oh, Vince, that's so God, that's huge.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
I'm super pumped about it, and
congratulations.
thank you so much.
Congratulations.
And Christina and I talked, and she said that she's just happy to be able to help me get back more involved on a more consistent basis,
Yeah.
with volleyball. And I told her I couldn't be more appreciative. Um, and it works out because she's the one who taught me how to look for certain things, and
Yeah.
I know what she looks for because I look for it too now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh, that just got chills. That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, I know I'm super pumped about it. And I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Anything on more consistent basis, like I said.
I
So
I love it.
so
Congrats. So, 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 so happy for you, Vince. I think that's such it's
thank
just
you.
a full circle moment. I love I love that that opportunity has presented itself and that you're taking all these steps in the middle of it. And here we are. And
Yeah.
like here we are.
Yes, here we are. Yes.
Right
I'm
back
just
there. But in a
right back.
different capacity that's really, I mean, you're going to learn the game in such a different way and you're going to contribute to the game in such a different way than you did
Yes.
before, which is just expanding your knowledge
That's
even
right.
more.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I like watching video anyways. Like I'll like during East Coast, like I was watching Mia and Molly on two different screens.
Oh, how funny.
And I was watching their entire game.
Yeah.
Like and I wasn't even there, but I was like and so I
Yeah.
love, doesn't matter. The game, I
Oh,
love it.
perfect. Perfect. I'm so proud of you and so
Oh, thank you
excited for
so much.
you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, gosh. Well, I look forward to following that one.
Yes, I'm
As
I'm really pumped about it.
well, as you should be. And I
Yeah.
can tell you're glowing about it too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I
Yeah.
look forward to following that, but I also probably more so look forward to following you and your prognosis and everything that you're going to achieve and that you're working towards achieving right now in
Thank
terms of
you.
your health.
Thank you. I'm obviously that's the number one. And I just I try to keep up. I try to keep everyone updated on my posts. It's been lacking since I'm able to be a little bit more mobile, but I have I told myself that my New Year's resolution to keep everyone updated more on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So there we
But
go.
I think everybody also understands that you're in season right now.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
And if
absolutely.
they don't, now they do.
Well, that's right. Now they do. So get with it.
Yes. Vince, it's so great to talk to you. So great to see your happy, smiling face. Your
Thank
positivity
you.
is just
It's good to see you
radiating.
too.
It's really it's really a gift, and I know all of those hard things that you have to go through to get to that point. I mean, the blessings behind all of them are just immeasurable for you. So
Oh,
I'm
thank
so
you.
happy for you. I
Well,
think.
thanks for having me. I didn't say thank you yet. So thanks for
Oh,
having me. I
you're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sitting here and jibber jabbering with me all afternoon. It's been a
100%.
great time. I've loved it.
Yeah. I don't have video to break down yet. So we're good.
Like, we're good. I'm glad I caught you now before school
Yes.
starts, like in the next 2
Absolutely.
weeks or 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Ish.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I'm glad I got on your calendar now because yeah, otherwise
Yeah.
you're going to be inundated here soonly.
I will be.
Oof.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, Vince, have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yes. You too. Happy New
Oh,
Year.
happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
Stay warm in
Whoa.
Chicago.
Don't have to worry about that. I'm good. Layers upon layers.
Layers, layers and layers.
Yes. All of the compression. All of it.
There you go. Bring it
Yes.
all.
That's right.
All right. Thanks, Vince. I hope you have a great rest of the day, great rest of your week, and congrats on that awesome job.
Oh, thank you very much. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in today, guys. If you have an idea for an interview or you would like to share your own story, I would love to hear from you. Send me a message at dawn@thesoulgoals.com. If you enjoyed today's podcast, I'd love for you to leave a review and to consider following and subscribing to the show. With weekly releases, there is always another interesting story to be heard. I do hope that today's guests and their words have helped to bring some extra light to your day and encouraged you to find a deeper space of your very own soul goals. Until next time, friends, remember that everyone has a story and every story matters.